folks, Linda Curry here, and today I want to talk to you about a liver gallbladder cleanse. I did one recently and I wanted to share lessons learned and why you might want to do something like this. So, first of all, if you've never done any kind of a cleanse, it's probably best to start with a colon cleanse. I actually recommend these at least a couple times a year. It's really important to clean out old waste in the colon so that it's functioning optimally for your health. Secondly, if you suspect parasites, you may want to do a parasite cleanse before you do a liver gallbladder cleanse. So keep that in mind. But today I'm going to talk to you about the liver gallbladder cleanse. So, why might you want to do something like this? Well, our livers can get overworked with unhealthy diet, pollution, air quality, water quality, a lot of these things. And even if you have a super healthy diet, you may have genetics that causes your liver to not be functioning optimally. And if you have a history in your family of gallbladder surgery, which is taking out the gallbladder, this could be something for you to look at. Now, keep in mind, please talk to your doctor if you do have gallbladder issues. You don't want to do this kind of a cleanse if you're having a gallbladder attack. It could be very dangerous. So please consult with your physician. Okay, so another reason to do this cleanse is because our liver and gallbladders can get kind of clogged, lots of toxins. We get gallstones in the gallbladder, and sometimes these can become dangerous if they get too big, blocking the bile ducts so that this bile is not being released. That helps digest fats in your meals. You can also get what's called sludge in the gallbladder. Maybe you don't have a lot of stones, but you have a lot of sludge in there. Another reason you might want to do a cleanse like this. Now, if you're curious, under your right rib cage is where your gallbladder is. It sits below the liver. And if you kind of push up under the rib cage on the right side, if you have any tension in there, you might have a clogged gallbladder. Also, there are a lot of symptoms like upper back tension. This is actually something that I relieved in my own body after I did this cleanse. It was a very pleasant surprise. I've had this upper back tension between the shoulder blades for years. I'm just somebody that gets on the yoga mat every single day to help get rid of this back tension, to help alleviate it. And so it was a really pleasant surprise to find that really release after I did this cleanse, and which also makes me want to do another one. The protocol suggests that you can do these cleanses every month until you stop releasing gallstones. Gallstones are going to float in the toilet, so it will be very evident if you're passing them. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about how you might go about doing a liver gallbladder cleanse, or it might be referred to as a flush. So it's usually a 6-day time frame that you want to kind of plan out. You want to make sure you're not doing this when you have a cold or a flu, or you're dealing with something that your immune system is very active. You don't want your body dealing with too many things at once. Even things like being on your menstrual cycle. Try to avoid that time frame. So during days 1 to 4, there's some certain focus areas. One is cleaning the colon. The reason you want to do this is because we want a clear passage for when this flush happens. When the gallbladder flushes, you want a clear passage for all of those toxins to leave the body. So if you have a clogged colon, this is not going to be comfortable. So one of the products that I recommend is Oxy Powder, and it is a company called Global Healing. And the second area of focus is supporting your liver. And you want to use liver supporting herbs. And Global Healing also has a product called Livatrex. And this is going to be a really easy way to not only soften any gallstones, but also support that liver. And also, a lot of people, you'll see if you do some searches online, that people use apple juice for 5 days, drinking apple juice to try to soften gallstones. It's really the malic acid in apple juice that does this. So there's other options. If you're not doing the Livatrex, which has an herb to soften the gallstones, you can take malic acid supplements. Again, you can drink the apple juice, but I find it to be really high in sugar. And so drinking that for 6 days is going to be a lot of sugar for your body. You can also try apple cider vinegar if you can handle that, mixing it with water. I'm going to give you a lot of these instructions, a link below in the description so that you can just print it out and have it in front of you so you don't have to take a lot of notes during this video. I'm just going to share my experience and some guidelines. Also, during these first 4 days, you really want to focus on diet. So basically a healthy diet. The first few days, we don't have to necessarily eliminate fat and protein, but you want lean meats, healthy fats like avocado and olives. A little bit of olive oil is okay, but you don't want to go out and have a deep fried meal. That is going to be a no-no during this cleanse. And especially as we get to day 4, you want to really eliminate fat, protein, and cholesterol on the evening of day 4 for preparation for day 5, which is the pre-flush day. Okay, so when I say fats, proteins, and cholesterol, things like eggs, you don't really think of them as having a lot of fat, but they do have cholesterol, which is going to engage the liver. Which basically what happens is when we eat fat, cholesterol, and protein, the liver will send bile to the gallbladder. Now, the gallbladder is really used to store this bile for when you have a high fatty meal so that it has extra bile on hand to flush into your digestive system to digest these fats. Okay, so we're going to clean the colon, we're going to support the liver, we're going to help soften gallstones. We're going to focus on diet. And then on the pre-flush day, this is day 5, we're going to use some Epsom salts, which helps to open the bile ducts for the flush. The Epsom salts is also going to help clean the colon as well. And you're going to be using the oxy powder throughout these days to make sure your colon stays clean. And then on the pre-flush day, the evening, as you go to bed, you're going to take it's a mixture of basically olive oil and some citrus to help just flavor the olive oil so you can get it down. So it's about a half a cup of olive oil. If you're a bigger person, you could go up to about 6 ounces of olive oil and a similar amount of the citrus. I used grapefruit juice. I juiced 2 red grapefruits. And it was actually delicious. It was easy to get down. And this is what's going to happen is the night before, end of day 5, you're basically having 0 fat, 0 protein, 0 cholesterol. So the gallbladder is almost pressurizing. It's got a lot of bile built up, ready for a fatty meal. So when we drink this olive oil mixture, that's going to cause the gallbladder to open up and flush all of that bile through your system, releasing gallstones and sludge and toxins. And this is the whole objective. Okay, so with that, in my experience when I did this, some lessons learned. One is make sure on day 6, the next day, you don't have anything planned. You'll want to nap, rest, just take care of your body. And you may be going to the bathroom several times as your gallbladder flushes. Another lesson, Epsom salts. I am going to suggest taking less. I actually took a tablespoon dissolved in water at 4 o'clock and 6 o'clock on the pre-flush day. That was quite a bit. My system just flushed. I was releasing just basically water and bile. Um, and so other recommendations I've seen, other protocols, only use 1 tablespoon. So I will try that at 6 p.m. and then the olive oil mixture at 8 p.m. Right before I go to bed. I actually did the apple juice, and again, it was just too much sugar for my body. I mixed it with apple cider vinegar to kind of cut down on that sweetness. But in the future, when I do this next time, I will use the Livatrex, which has herbs in there to soften your gallstones. So you shouldn't really need to take any malic acid supplements or apple juice or anything like that. But with that said, there was a benefit to the apple juice on day 5 which is after lunch, you really don't want to eat anything more. And the apple juice really kept me feeling satiated. And it also helps to make sure your colon stays clean. So I might take some on day 5 for that purpose. Another lesson is I found lemon water to be especially helpful. The morning of the flush on day 6, I started my day, I drank lemon water, and I do this on a regular basis anyway. It helps to clean the liver and starts to just kind of activate your digestive system. I actually had another gallbladder flush on day 7, which I'm not sure is terribly normal. But it was a nice surprise to release even more gallstones. And it was, I believe, because I started the day with lemon water. Another lesson that you may want to consider is there's an amino acid you can take called L-ornithine. And it can help with discomfort while you're sleeping after you take that olive oil mixture. I also felt nausea the night of the pre-flush, and it helped. I decided to take some melatonin to just help me get to sleep so that nausea wasn't so bothersome. And then I want to recommend also, this is something that I did, and I think it's really important, is after you cleanse your colon is empty, your gallbladder is flushing, your intestines need a little support and soothing. And so you can use things like slippery elm tea, which is fabulous, aloe vera juice, or DGL is a licorice extract that you can take to help soothe and coat your intestines. Even something like bone broth would be very helpful on the flush day. As you decide that you're ready to start eating, you want to start with things like broth or fruit, something really easy to digest. And when you're feeling hungry, you might want to just make like a sweet potato or overcooked veggies. Make like just a big soup with overcooked vegetables, maybe a little rice in there, some sweet potatoes. That'll be really filling and nourishing, and it won't be hard on your intestines, which may feel a little bit raw. Okay. So those are the lessons. And what kind of results can you find from a gallbladder flush? Basically, a lot of people report energy. Now, I didn't really have an energy problem prior to the flush. I'm not somebody that drinks caffeine. So my energy level isn't super high, but I'm just kind of neutral all day, and I feel pretty good throughout the day. So I'm not going to comment on that, although a lot of people do report getting a lot of energy after doing a flush like this. But as I mentioned before, the back tension was a really pleasant surprise, and makes me want to go ahead and do another flush a month from now and see how much more improvement I can get. So that's it for now. Please look down below in the description for a link where you can download and print out my personal suggestions. And again, please consult with your physician if you have any concern that you may have serious gallbladder issues. Okay, that's it for now. I hope this was helpful for you. Please jot down any questions in the comments below, and I will do my best to answer them. Thanks so much, and I hope to talk soon. Bye-bye.